Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
The Gunnison Sage-Grouse, Centrocercus minimus, is one of the most fascinating and specialized birds native to North America. It found only in a few isolated parts of southwestern Colorado and a small area of southeastern Utah. It is considered endemic, meaning it lives nowhere else on Earth. It was only recognized as a separate species from the greater sage-grouse in the year 2000 due to distinct differences in size, appearance, genetics, and behavior. This bird has adapted perfectly to life in the sagebrush ecosystem, a unique shrubland habitat found in the high deserts of the American West. Without sagebrush, these birds cannot survive, as they rely on it year-round for both food and shelter. The sagebrush also serves as critical cover from predators and provides nesting sites for females. Male Gunnison. Sage-grouse are slightly smaller than their greater sage-grouse relatives, measuring about 21 to 24 inches, 53 to 61 centimeters in length and weighing up to 2.5 pounds, 1.1 kilograms. The Gunnison sage-grouse primarily eats sagebrush leaves year-round, adding flowers, green plants, and insects in spring and summer, especially for growing chicks. Its average lifespan is 3 to 6 years in the wild, though many don't survive past their first year due to predators and habitat threats. During the breeding season, males become dramatically more noticeable as they perform elaborate mating rituals. They inflate large, yellowish air sacs on their chest, creating a rhythmic popping or booming sound that echoes across the sagebrush landscape. This display is part of their behavior at leks, traditional mating grounds where several males gather to compete for the attention of females. The males also fan out their sharp, spiky tail feathers into a wide circle, puff out their snow-white chest feathers, and raise long black phyla plumes, hair-like feathers, behind their heads. These displays are both visually and acoustically impressive, often lasting for hours in the early morning during the breeding season, which runs from late March through early May. Females visit these leks, silently watching the males, and usually choose to mate with just a few dominant individuals who display the best stamina and most impressive behavior. After mating, the female alone is responsible for nesting and raising the chicks. She selects a nest site beneath a dense sagebrush bush and lays 6 to 8 eggs in a shallow depression lined with grasses and feathers. She incubates the eggs for about 25 to 27 days, and when the chicks hatch, they are precocial, meaning they are born with open eyes and fluffy feathers, ready to move and feed. For the first few weeks of life, the chicks eat mostly protein-rich insects, which are critical for their growth and survival. Over time, their diet shifts more toward forbs, flowering plants, and sagebrush leaves, just like the adults. The birds remain vulnerable to predators such as foxes, coyotes, badgers, golden eagles, and ravens, especially during the nesting and chick-rearing stages. Despite their camouflage, many females and chicks do not survive each season. These birds are considered a keystone species in the sagebrush ecosystem. I mean, their presence helps scientists measure the health of the entire habitat. Protecting the Gunnison sage-grouse also protects hundreds of other species, from mule deer and jackrabbits to rare insects and plants that rely on the same ecosystem. Unfortunately, the species is currently listed as threatened under the U.S. Endangered Species Act, primarily due to habitat loss, fragmentation, invasive plant species, climate change, and human development. Roads, housing, agriculture, oil and gas drilling, and power lines all divide up the sagebrush land, making it harder for grouse to survive. Because Gunnison sage-grouse avoid tall structures, which can serve as perches for predators, even the presence of fences and wind turbines can reduce usable habitat. Despite these challenges, the Gunnison sage-grouse continues to capture the attention of conservationists, scientists, and bird lovers alike. Their elaborate courtship dances, limited range, and specialized habitat needs make them a symbol of the fragile balance between wildlife and human activity in the American West. One remarkable fact about these birds is their ability to digest the bitter, toxic chemicals found in sagebrush, which most other animals cannot tolerate. This unique adaptation allows them to thrive in a habitat that seems inhospitable to many, Their loyalty to leks, which can be used for decades or even centuries, adds another layer of cultural significance to their behavior.